USWF Tag Team titles on PG-13.
Hello again, everybody. For Dave Brown, Corey Macklin, this is Lance Russell saying welcome to another big day of USWA Championship Wrestling.
I'll tell you, we got quite a day planned for you today. Now, we have some highlights coming up for you from Monday Night Raw, WWF Tag Title Match. Smoking Guns versus Yokozuna and Owen Hart. We'll show you some of those highlights and tell you a little bit later on why that's so important.
And we've got some interesting history on PG-13 that I think all the wrestling fans are going to be interested in, because they do have a fascinating career.
That's absolutely right. And today, right here on television, it's the television debut in the USWA of the Heavenly Bodies out of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. They'll be right here in the ring a little bit later on.
Oh, that just made my day. I'm thrilled to that. But they're tough, and we'll be interested in seeing them. Techno 2000 will be here today, Dave.
They're going to be along. Also, we'll have a recap of the Unified World title match from last week. The King, Jerry Lawler, defending the title against Jesse James Armstrong. Highlights of that. And
Brian Christopher will be here with Stephen Dunn as one of the matches we'll have lined up. Yes.
Speaking of Armstrong, boy, they had some ether and they got to Doug Gilbert on it. Doug Gilbert and Armstrong will try to settle that situation a little bit more, too.
My goodness, we've got so much we better get at it. Let's take time out right now. We're going to be back with more of that action getting ready to start in just a moment. Boy, I got to tell you, Dave, I come back and the first thing that's staring me in the face, Brandon Baxter, made my day,
Oh, what I want to demand right now is 100% silence. Because I have the privilege and the honor to bring to you today the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling. They are the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I am bringing to you the Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard, and the Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey. Right now, welcome the Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, we know the Heavenly Bodies all too well, and we know the kind of wrestling that you can expect out of them. But they are here, and they're going to the ring in just a moment.
It is great to have you here.
You know something? It's been a long, long time since I've been in this studio. But you see, we have the best of both worlds. We happen to have Jim Cornette as our manager, and we've got the brightest, newest young star on the horizon right here, managing us to success in the USWA.
I heard all those glowing words he said.
Yeah, I know you did, but let me show you some glowing gold, if you will. We heard from Brandon that last week PG-13 came out here, and they talked about how the Heavenly Bodies didn't have the guts to show up for a TV taping. Well, let me tell you something, boys. We're right here now. We're wearing the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Championship. We should be the USWA Tag Team Champions as well. But you want to talk about the USWA? Let's talk about politics. Yeah, you're right, I do. I want to talk about Randy Hales. I want to talk about the World Wrestling Federation bringing the Smoking Guns in and giving PG-13 a championship match.
That's right, they earned it.
Yeah, they earned it. They may have earned it in your eyes. They may have earned it in your eyes, but they haven't earned it in the eyes of the Heavenly Bodies. I can promise you this, we beat the Smoking Guns every time we stepped in the ring with them. We have battled politics in the World Wrestling Federation. We've battled politics in Smoky Mountain with Bob Armstrong, with everybody that ever came in our path. Now, Randy Hales and the USWA want to put the Heavenly Bodies on the spot. I can tell you this, we are the greatest tag team, as Brandon Baxter said. We're here in the USWA for a reason, and the Smoking Guns are doing an injustice by coming here and defending their belts against PG-13 because we are the rightful contenders.
Well, it looks like PG-13 and everybody else's eyes earned it. Let's see what you guys can do in the ring in there. Our first look here in the studio at the Heavenly Bodies as they head for the ring. Dr. Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Corey, yeah, okay. Thank you.
All right, we're ready. Opening bout today on USWA Wrestling One Fall with a 10-minute time limit. First introducing a combined weight of 488 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee, T.D. Steele. And his partner from Fantasy Island, here is the Spellbinder. Opponents today, a combined weight of 476 pounds, representing Smoky Mountain Wrestling out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. Here are the Heavenly Bodies. With Brendan Baxter, Bill Rush is the official referee for this bout. One fall, a 10-minute time limit.
Okay, Corey coming out of the ring. We're about ready to get at it. As referee Bill Rush says, take it down to one. At least we won't start off with all four guys in the ring. Bell time, and here we go, Dave.
Tom Pritchard starting, Dr. Tom starting for the Heavenly Bodies against the Spellbinder. Spellbinder's partner, T.D. Steele, watching back in the corner. Del Rey watching Pritchard from the corner. The Heavenly Bodies, oh, they've been around, no doubt about it. The Smoky Mountain USWA feud, which has been going on. The Bodies were heavily involved in that. Never would show up for TV, though. But here they are today. We're happy to be able to bring them to you. Oh!
Some of the magic from the Spellbinder.
It backed Pritchard up. Why, it didn't hurt anything. It just, it's a big surprise for your opponent. I don't care how tough you are. All of a sudden, something's coming at you. And Spellbinder makes a very effective use of that. They're back into action now. Dr. Tom Pritchard and the Spellbinder.
And the Spellbinder turns that arm over, makes a tag on TD, his first appearance in there. Leaving Jimmy Del Rey, Gigolo Jimmy, as the only one, and now he takes the tag, and here he comes. Double team on T.D. Steele, ripping right hand from Del Rey. Crossing away, Spellbinder being run out by Bill Rush. Cross body, hooked the leg and got a one because Del Rey was moving all the time. Back into the corner goes T.D. Gigolo Jimmy puts a knee in the midsection. Rush trying to get him out of the corner.
T.D. Steele whipped across the way, into the turnbuckles across the ring. He comes out of there. He slips around behind Del Rey, but Del Rey caught him with the elbow. T.D. Steele staggered by it, and he's a long way from the corner. He was actually closer to the Heavenly Bodies corner than to his own. Well, reversal by T.D. Whips him in there. He slides, though, and from behind, Tom Pritchard grabs him. The tag had been made by the Heavenly Bodies. They were a little slow on the exchange, but it's Dr. Tom working on T.D. Steele now.
Did you catch that little bit of jealousy from the Heavenly Bodies about PG getting the WWF title shot against the Smoking Gun? Sour grapes.
Absolutely. They can say what they want, but I think most of the wrestling fans are aware of the history of Heavenly Bodies versus PG-13. Wow.
Boy, they buried TD into that mat.
You know, they obviously have a strategy, which we've said many times in the past, is a good strategy to keep the smaller of your opponents, the one with the least experience in there, and that's obviously what they're trying to do with TD. Keep him in there. Look at Pritchard dragging back over toward their corner. And look off the top rope, a spring by Jimmy Del Rey.
One, 2, 3, and that's going to be it.
The Heavenly Bodies in their first appearance on television on USWA Wrestling. Greatest tag team in wrestling, says Brandon Baxter. They come away with a victory here, and a pretty impressive one, too.
We're going to take time out. Be back with more action in just a moment.
There's some folks arriving in the ring, but also we got another team arriving right here. One of the teams that has been causing a few problems in the USWA the last year. Oh, here's, speaking of problems, here's one right here.
The tag team champions. What I want to do right now, I want to bring to you the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling. They are the tag team of the future, and they are your USWA tag team champions. I'm talking about Troy and Travis, Techno Team 2000.
Techno Team 2000, no doubt about it. They've caused some problems in the USWA. They are wearing the USWA tag team belts, but that's all we'll say about that at this point.
Let me tell you, we came in here just 2 weeks ago, and as you can see, we're already the USWA champions. We won the belts right here on TV last week in front of the whole world. Now we got a lesson to PG-13. Talk to them.
Let me tell you something. Who is this PG-13 think they are? Why do they get to go to Monday Night Raw? When you saw it, all you people saw it last week on TV, that we beat them, took the belts, and we should be at Raw.
Well,
why do they get a title shot, and we're sitting here with you?
Hey,
What are you doing out here? What's this I just heard about you saying you want to introduce the greatest tag team ever coming out the future tag team? You just introduced us a while ago. We were back there, buddy. What's your problem here, pal? I mean, you're looking at a couple of guys that couldn't tie their own boots. That's why they have to have zippers. I mean, we got more experience. We got better belts. We don't have silver belts. We got gold belts. Who are you talking about the greatest team here, Brandon?
You can't tell just by looking at us that we are the team of the future. Where you guys been? Where'd you guys go to WWF? You guys all of a sudden just left, huh? We ran you out.
No problem.
But you see, we had more matches in the WWF than you guys have ever had in your life. We beat more teams.
Who's got the title?
Well, who's got the titles? We beat somebody for our titles. We didn't just go out and steal them. We beat somebody.
Smoky Mountain, because Smoky Mountain smokes.
No. The fact is we beat somebody.
Please go.
No, there is no problem. We beat somebody for our belts. Who did you guys beat for those belts?
We have the USWA belts, and this is the only belt that matters in this territory.
Randy Hale's out maybe to get some of this settled. Heavenly Bodies introduced by Brandon Baxter as the greatest tag team in history, and then he came out here. I was wondering about that. He comes out here 4 or 5 minutes later and introduces Techno Team 2000 as the greatest tag team ever. Looks like maybe Brandon Baxter better remember that there are monitors all over the place, and some of these other guys can hear it. A lot more action here to go. Don't you go away. We'll be back with it from the USWA in just a moment.
Ready for it. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit for this tag team action coming up here. Combined weight of 473 pounds out of Jackson, Tennessee, Kip Morris. And his partner wrestling from Memphis, Tennessee, Chris Frazier. Their opponents today coming in, the team from the future. A combined weight of 477 pounds. Here is Troy and Travis. Techno Team 2000. Brendan Baxter in their corner. The official ref is Bill Rush. Over to my buddies Lance and Davis. Do it.
Okay, bell time, and I mean, before we can even get that out, we've got ourselves with Techno Team 2000 rushing Kip and Chris. Out goes Chris and Kip in there. Oh, look at that double teaming. They don't believe in one-on-one, do they?
No, they don't. And we never were able to get to the point in the interview because of the interference. But let me point out, too, that the way Techno Team 2000 first got their hands on those tag team belts was they stole them at a match one night. That's how they got them. They lost the match but stole the belts and started parading around, declared themselves the champions immediately.
I want to tell both of you something right now. I do not appreciate the way you tried to put a spin on that. You tried to change my words totally and turn both teams against me, and I'm sick of it.
You're the one that used the same phrase, the greatest team ever, or both teams. You do that kind of stuff, you're going to get caught down the line. Troy coming in, takes over from Travis, and Kip being pounded hard. Kip Laird and Chris Frazier trying to face Techno Team 2000. These guys, no question, they have the physical qualities that you need to be a top contender in professional wrestling. They're both very large, excellent athletes. As Travis working away on Kip Laird over there.
Boy, Kip took a real hard shot there from the Techno Team 2000. They really like that double elbow. They double up Put one on either side of their opponent coming off the ropes. And Kip Morris hit the mat hard. This is Travis of Techno Team. Oh! Kip Morris out of the corner over to his corner, makes a tag on Chris Frazier. Frazier comes in and is immediately attacked by Travis of Techno Team 2000.
One thing the Heavenly Bodies did say right, this is a young team. They have not been together, and I'm impressed with as well they work together. Off that top rope over the top of Travis. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
We've got ourselves a win right there for Techno Team 2000. That is not a title win, and you're reminding us the way they got the belt was lifted them from somewhere. And with Brandon Baxter, that doesn't surprise me a bit, Dave.
That's right. The team of the future they claim to be, but also PG-13 has pointed out that PG-13 says, hey, they may be the team of the future, but we're the team of right now.
Brandon, you've got a match coming up with Miss Texas. You got some problem with your tag teams. You got a lot of problems with that coming up in the near future.
I don't understand what it is about Miss Texas that the USWA likes so much.
She's a good athlete, a good wrestler.
A good wrestler?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what has happened on television. I have beat her 2 weeks in a row. I wrestled her twice on TV. I have beat her both times. Has that ever happened before? Has Miss Texas ever been beaten on television? Answer me.
Yes.
By me. You are correct. I beat her twice right in the middle of the ring. And I began to ponder upon a thought. I was wondering why Miss Texas has been in the USWA so long. Why she has been pampered for the last 5 or 6 years. I did a little bit of investigating, and I found out exactly why. It is because when she came here, she was having a torrid love affair with Eddie Marlin.
Oh, come on now, Brandon. Don't start that stuff. You come out with these doggone lies. We've heard these kind of things.
No, I've been told this by a very good source.
Yeah, really.
And after Eddie Marlin got so old that he could barely walk and he checked himself into a nursing home, not only did he pass on his wrestling duty to Randy Hales, he also passed on his woman, Miss Texas, to Randy Hales. That is how she's been around here so long, because she is now having an affair with Randy Hales. She is now Randy Hales' girlfriend.
Okay, Brandon, you can take a walk with that kind of
Wait a minute.
conversation. You're telling lies out.
Go ahead. Miss Texas, if you can hear me, if you're listening, if you can understand what I'm saying. Okay? Okay? You are nothing but a tramp. Tell these people you have...
I don't blame her one bit. Get up there and start saying things like this to people. Okay, Jesse Jane. Oh, yeah, you. What kind of big guys are you? Great. Come on now. Let go of her. Here comes Brian Christopher. Maybe that'll get your attention. We're going to take a break right here, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Armstrong for all of that. The King he came out with his Cleveland Browns and Cleveland Indians gear. The helmet was left right here on the desk. Before long, Brian Christopher, Jesse James Armstrong ended up in a confrontation. Let's go back, take a look, sort of recap some of that for you. By Jesse James Armstrong. Armstrong bringing a chain into the ring. Lawler got it away from him. The referee, as he recovered, saw Lawler with a chain. He grabbed the chain. Meanwhile, as the referee was knocked down, Armstrong got the cover, and the count of 3, he's got the belt in his hand. Brian Christopher trying to explain to the referee what's going on.
It's going to be hard to explain, because all the Rush saw was the chain of Lawler.
Brian Christopher is saying nope, it was Jesse James Armstrong that brought the chain in.
Brian Christopher holding that chain. He's telling Rush that Armstrong will go into that. Referee Bill Rush.
Lawler is trying to say to the... Oh, he's reversed it.
Rush is reversed it. Good move from Bill Rush.
You know, I think the crowd...
Bill.
I think the crowd had something to do with that, too. They assured the referee that Brian Christopher was telling him exactly what happened.
I should be the unified champion, and Jerry the Queen Lawler should be hiding somewhere in Memphis.
You shouldn't be nothing. You had a chain, everybody knows it. What you should be is with your butt behind that curtain. You should be out here on my interview time. You got that.
Yeah, I got it, tough guy. But do you have it? Huh? Does he have it? Is what I'm talking about. Do you have guts enough?
I'll tell you what, Armstrong. Let me just tell you one thing, and I hope you understand this. I'm also happy that I am still the USWA heavyweight champion, and I'm going to remain the USWA heavyweight champion for as long as I stay here, and not anybody, whether it be Jesse James Armstrong.
Well, you proved one thing right there. You can certainly take a helmet and beat up on somebody with it. Jesse James Armstrong, we're going to see him in the ring here in just a moment as he gets ready. Yeah. Hey, we saw it. Don't come in here with that.
Down. Shut your mouth, people. You pipe down back there. Just like from day one when I started in the World Wrestling Federation, everybody cheated me. Be Jesse James. Then I came down here to the USWA, and you see what happens. Everybody saw it. You're exactly right, Lance Russell. Yeah. Everybody saw it. Yeah, he cheated me out of the USWA. No, that wasn't the USWA. I went up here. I went a level up here, didn't I? Unified title. Had it around my waist. Too stupid Brian Christopher come out and cost me that title. Cheated me out of it. Now, you know me. You know my dad. You know my family. You know my name. Everybody here does. Brian Christopher, you, my friend, will learn my name quick. Jesse James Armstrong is in the USWA to beat people up. Not only am I taking the unified title from Jerry the Queen, but Brian Christopher, too stupid, you are mine. I'm going through you like a runaway freight train, and nothing short of a brick wall or a 9mm is stopping me.
Well, we're going to find it out, and you're talking about knowing your name. He knows it. He remembers you're the guy that took the helmet and beat him into this
floor. Beat him half to death, didn't I, Lance?
With the helmet.
Within an inch of his useless, worthless life. Now, what I'm going to do is finish the job I started with that stupid, ugly Cleveland Browns helmet. And I'm going to finish the job and take his USWA title to the Armstrong Mansion and put it on the mantle where it belongs, Lance Russell.
Well, if you're man enough to do it, go right ahead. But you got to go through it.
If I'm man enough to do it, who can I beat up today?
Well, you got one in there right now. Let's see what.
Can I beat him up?
Well, you can sure try, but it isn't over with yet. Brandon Baxter out here with Jesse James Armstrong. Takes great pride in having used that helmet to pound Brian Christopher down. When he goes after the title, it'll be a different story. Corey, let's get on with this match, buddy.
All right, Lancer, we're ready for it. This one is a good one. Single bout, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing to my right, led by Brendan Baxter. Wrestling out of Marietta, Georgia, here is Jesse James Armstrong. And his opponent, 244 pounds out of Lexington, Tennessee. To my left, Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Bill Rush is referee. Over to Dave Brown and Lance Russell.
Premier match right here with Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Jesse James Armstrong. Look at Jesse James telling the referee, watch him, he's going to be pulling in my hair. Yeah. And he may.
Well, Armstrong was complaining that Brian Christopher cost him the unified title, cheated him out of it. What he conveniently forgot to mention was that the chain that was involved there was brought into the ring by Jesse James Armstrong. He's the one that pulled the chain. He's the one that started all of that. Brian Christopher simply pointed out the fact.
How did he ever overlook that big leapfrog? Gilbert reverses, takes him on the hip, puts him right down on the mat, and then blisters him with a big right hand. Jesse James, it's not at all the way you said it was going to be.
Well, he's hanging onto the ropes. He wants Doug Gilbert backed up. Brandon Baxter there, I'm sure, telling him he's probably the greatest wrestler and half of the greatest tag team ever. That's been Brian's line here today. Oh, Doug Gilbert with a little insult, claiming that Mr. Armstrong maybe is not too anxious to tie it up with him out there.
Part of the Poultry family. Crowd getting in behind Doug Gilbert. Jesse James, in case he has a short memory, better remember back that Doug Gilbert can get just as nasty and dirty as anybody in the ring. Big elbow knocks Gilbert's head flying right back into that turnbuckle. And a ripping right hand as referee Bill Rush cautions him about it. Not that that's going to do one bit of good where he's concerned, or either one of them, as a matter of fact.
Just what I was saying. You're not going to do any good with either one of these guys.
Right.
Both of them are going to double up a fist and pop their opponent if they think they need to. Jesse James Armstrong doing a little strutting around, showing off. Don't forget who your opponent is there.
Putting on some major hot dog stuff up there is Armstrong. Can't imagine what happened to this guy. Yeah, I know the whole family. They're all. And this guy is a great talent, no doubt. Doug rips out of that corner with a right hand, but he receives that shoulder right in the midsection. Look at him. Drove him right up on top that middle turn. And a knee.
He's not letting up. Referee trying to get him out of the corner. He does. He takes Doug over, and he's choking him with the middle rope.
Well, here's both of these guys, and I can tell you what, as they say, oh, look at Brandon. Yeah. Any kind of cheap shot. He is a great cheap shot artist. I don't know where he learned his wrestling from Brandon Baxter, but he learned it from somebody who believed in that cheap shot stuff. Armstrong. The referee backs him away from Doug Gilbert, who is on the ropes. And once again, Brandon Baxter. This time, Doug. Ready for Armstrong. Flying across the ring. Straddles that rope when it was all over. In the air, reverse atomic knee. Gilbert backs him into the corner. Reverse whip. Gilbert laces him with that boot. Right in the mouth, David.
Jesse James Armstrong had control of this match, but no more. Counted 2. Doug Gilbert has taken over. He almost had him. He had a 2 count on Jesse James Armstrong right in the middle of the ring. Now he's climbing the middle rope. Armstrong, 10 back in the corner. Doug may be taking a little too long to get a second opinion. Stephen Dunn is crawling around the ring. There he is. He's headed to the corner toward the action. The referee there to try to get him out of the corner. Meanwhile, Stephen Dunn grabs Doug Gilbert's leg. He's holding onto the leg. There's a count of 3 by Armstrong, but give a huge assist to Stephen Dunn, who is now rolled under the ring so the referee can't see him. We know he's there. The crowd sees him. Doug Gilbert is telling
no way the referee could have seen him, Dave. Dunn did a good job of hiding down under that ring.
Hey, now the referee sees him, and he's just reversed him.
Yes! Armstrong, Dunn, double teaming on Doug Gilbert. Double clothesline him, and down he goes, and there goes Bill Rush on a hope of 5. Comes right out, hit Brian Christopher. Dunn goes out, Armstrong goes out.
Well, it kind of goes back to when Dunn brought the ether in and went after Doug Gilbert. Now he interferes today, but today it cost Armstrong the match as he's disqualified, and dangerous Doug Gilbert gets the hand raised.
Referee Bill Rush, when he got down and saw Stephen Dunn underneath the ring, he knew what had happened. He reversed the decision. We've got more. Don't you dare go away. Back in a moment.
214 pounds, making his way to the ring area out of Dallas, Texas. What? Dave, I don't know what he is.
I don't know that we want to hear it after the interference you've been bringing in.
What's your opinion? I'll give it to you. And I got something to say right here and right now. A lot of people are asking why the big change in Stephen Dunn. Well, I'm going to tell everybody right now and set the record straight. Let everybody know this great promotion, USWA, ain't so great after all. And let me tell you something. I had a good run going to the WWF. I had the limousines, I had the money, I had the women, I had everything going on. I bought a house in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Thought I'd settle down a little bit. Here comes Randy Hale with this big offer, all these promises, all these main events, all these title shots. Well, I've been here for 3 months now, Randy Hale, and I ain't seen none of them. But I'll tell you what. I'm not going to wait around for you, Randy Hale. Bullet Bob Armstrong, President Commissioner Smoky Mountain Wrestler, gave me a call. Said he needed somebody to watch his son's back. Well, let me tell you something. I'm the best family money can buy. Hey, keep your mouth shut, punks. I'm going to tell you something right here and right now. USWA, Stephen Dunn is here for a reason, and it ain't for you guys. It's for money, it's for professional wrestling, and for main event matches. Brian Christmas.
Well, you're in the main event right here today, and let's go to the ring. Here's Corey Macklin for the introduction.
Okay, Dave. Hey, he's on the way out here. Stephen Dunn in the ring now, and his opponent making his way to the ring area. He is the USWA Heavyweight Champion, 221 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee. Too sexy, Brian Christopher. This one's going to be a goodie over to Lance Russell and Dave Brown.
Really upset today. What's he got upset to be upset about? After what he caused in there, reached up, grabbed Doug Gilbert's foot, pulled him down, involved in the ether incident. Well, I'll tell you, he's got a young man who is just ready for that kind of a guy.
Yep, he's complaining about not being in the main event. Let me not get into that too much. I think you fans have pretty well got it figured out. But let me just say, you can be promised main event matches, and then when you come in here, you got to perform. You got to earn your way, and I'm sure that's what he was told. And maybe his part of the bargain, maybe he didn't earn main event bookings along the way. Whatever it is, it's got him upset.
Not all that easy talking about the USWA, brother. Maybe that's what you overlooked. Maybe you just said, well, Stephen Dunn is so far above all the rest of those guys, and when you got here, you found out that wasn't necessarily true. That young man you're facing in there right today, he's one of them that could be in your path and a lot of others. Now, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get him in serious trouble, Dave.
Well, Mr. Christopher will not let that one just go by. He'll be some paybacks for that for Mr. Stephen Dunn. There's no doubt about it. You know, Dunn, we've seen him before wrestling as a tag team a number of years ago when he was in here with his partner. They had wrestled all over the Pacific Northwest. And I think you're on to something here about the level of competition in the USWA. There's a little well, whatever.
Pardon me for enjoying it.
I can think of about 12 lines, and I'm going to let all of them go. How about that?
And Christopher slides through and rips him from outside the ring. Well done that you see on the wrestling attire of Stephen Dunn. Doug Gilbert, we got some ideas about what that well does mean. Whoa! With both feet, Brian Christopher getting ready to bulldog him, and he pounded him down into that. I'm so excited for PG-13 and the opportunity to go after those WWF. I mean, I think it's because we have been close and seen them come along, you more than I. but have seen what they've developed into. And the immediate reaction when people look at them, Billy and Bart Gunn will be looking at these guys and saying, oh, a couple of shrimps, good night, you know. We've heard that before.
Well, what initially I thought would mean that PG-13 would never be main event wrestlers. They're just too small. May work for them in this case. Smoking Guns are very big. They're very tall. PG-13 may have the element of agility in their favor.
Well, I'm just glad that a lot of folks will get a chance to see that match. Brian Christopher kind of getting Stephen Dunn's attention. He's grapevining that leg, and I thought for a moment he was going to spring on him. Brian listening to the referee, and the referee's saying, let it up, cut loose. Brian is not one to take instructions very well.
No, not for very long.
No. And the whip. Dunn across the ring, and Brian just couldn't get in there quite quick enough. Dunn was out of the way, and Brian rattled out on the turnbuckle.
Well, it was all timing, and Brian misjudged it. The net result is a mistake, and Stephen Dunn now trying to take advantage of it and take control of the match from Brian Christopher, get himself a victory here today, and then start screaming louder for main event matches. Brian slips by. There's a super kick. Stephen Dunn goes down to the mat. Christopher doesn't take too long to celebrate. He goes for the cover. Count is 2. Oh, the shoulder comes up at the count of 3. Look out! Jesse James Armstrong has just jumped into the ring.
Look at Brian go.
Brian taking on both of them. I'm not sure that's a smart thing to do.
I guess he has no choice with Dunn and Armstrong in there and going after him. Here comes Doug Gilbert. Brian Christopher, in case you missed it a little earlier, came into Doug's help on a 2-on-1. And now Armstrong with the powder. We're going to have to take time out for a break right here, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Team had a match today, but something happened to their opponents back in the back. We took care of that, and what we're saying is that if PG-13 had any guts at all, they'd come out and wrestle the Heavenly Bodies. But the fact of the matter is, we're back to the same old political ploys, back to the same old favoritism, back to the same old good old boy system that's so prevalent around the USWA and the whole area. Now, the fact of the matter is, you are looking at the best tag team, no, the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today. You could talk about the World Wrestling Federation. You could talk about WCW. You could talk about Smoky Mountain, because we are the kings of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. We are the kings of wrestling.
PG-13 scheduled in a match here today. You've already had your match.
What you don't understand is PG-13 doesn't have any opponents tonight, Mr. Hales.
Sure they have opponents.
No, we took care of their opponents. What we're saying is we deserve a match to show everybody here how great we are.
Back there, get out of here right now.
We don't have a problem fighting anybody. Why? What? We haven't done anything. We haven't done anything. This is prejudice. You are prejudice.
Here comes PG-13.
They run their mouth too much, man. We had a match, so when they run their mouth. We had a match with
Well, you might know, PG-13 Heavenly Bodies in the same universe. There's going to be some trouble. And referee Bill Rush says, hey, ring it. I'm concerned, Randy. He said ring the bell. We're off and running, Dave.
Unscheduled match. Randy Ailes said, looks like we got a match, whether it was booked or not.
I can live with that.
Yeah, unscheduled, but this could be a good one. Heavenly Bodies run together in the middle of the ring by PG-13. Brandon Baxter running around in the corner of the Heavenly Bodies. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey in there. Wolfie D really working him over. Tag in the PG corner. JC Ice comes in. Both of the PGs are there. JC takes it down, goes for the cover. 1, 2. All he could get is a 2, but he was close.
2 count. JC Ice slaps that side mare over and down on Jimmy Del Rey. I don't know whether you heard Dr. Tom or not. He said, I thought they weren't going to wrestle when they were beating up on Jimmy over there in the corner. He said, I thought they weren't going to wrestle. Yeah.
Well, a lot of tag teams in this world have taken PG-13 far too lightly. I took them too lightly when they first came into the USWA a couple of years ago. Well, that's a mistake. Don't take this team lightly. They'll come after you. They'll beat you.
Another 2 count, and JC Ice still with Gigolo Jimmy making the tag to Dr. Tom Pritchard. And here comes Techno 2000.
Well, we've got a match going on here.
In the future, you all talk about PG-13 being #1. Well, then why aren't we wrestling PG-13? Neither one of these tag teams are on our level. We are the USWA champions. We remain the USWA champions.
This is an unscheduled match. We didn't schedule it.
Guess what? We're going to schedule what we want to schedule.
Brandon Baxter.
Even Brandon Baxter saying, hey, don't cause any problems now, guys.
Well, the excitement level just raised up another notch as Troy and Travis come in here while the match is on between PG-13 and Heavenly Bodies, saying they're going to schedule what they want, and Brandon Baxter arguing with Travis to keep him back from the ring as Tom Pritchard just nailed JC Ice.
AC over to the corner, put into the boot.
Wolfie.
Yeah. Troy of Techno Team 2000 grabs Wolfie from outside, and now we've got 6 of them in the ring. We have 3 tag teams, and every one of them in the ring right now. Techno 2000 and Tom Pritchard going at it. What are they doing, says Brandon Baxter. His 2 world's greatest tag teams are battling each other right there.
And I got to tell you, Dave, there may not be much order going on, but it's great if you love wrestling. They're all going at it as Troy battling with Tom Pritchard now. And Travis and Jimmy Del Rey going at it.
Well, we're going to have to stop this when the referee is not going to be able to get this one back together in the time remaining. So we'll have to take a break, and then we'll try to get everything sorted when we come back.
We'll enjoy it. What a sensational show with action today.
Whoa.
End up with a 3-way thing with 2 of Brandon Baxter. I think he may lose one or both of those teams.
Well,
couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Reminds me of an old song, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Brandon Baxter is not getting respect from either of those tag teams. They're doing their own thing. They say, we're the best. No, we're the best. No, we're the best.
What you didn't see, because we had to break away, was PG-13 ended up in the ring with the rest of them leaving in there. They got respect, didn't they, Bud?
And Baxter walked out all alone, too.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. It's been a great day for us here. We hope you enjoyed it with all of the action that we had. Terrific thing with Gilbert and Armstrong and with Christopher and Stephen Dunn. And those ended up with people jumping in. Just one of those wild and woolly USWA days. We're talking for Corey Macklin and Dave Brown. Lance Russell saying, I'm glad that we were here, and we're sure glad you were here, too. See you next week, and until that time, bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.